BTC 25,149.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hallelujah, Hallelujah,
BTC 25,118.
Doesn't look like the chat's working. I wonder why. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. How about this one? Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
It's LC the beat guy.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gotta watch my voice, little dropping now. You can turn your mic on, and we'll do some jumping here. Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
I'll be right back. I just have to reload this here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. The chat's working now, so you can type out
Sorry?
there, anybody.
Sorry?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna.
Hare Rama
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Oh Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna. Hare 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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare Rama
Ram Ram, Hare
Rama Rama
Hare.
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Ah, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama. Two things. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Those are the two things. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Rama
Oh
Rama
my Lord
Hare
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Oh
Hare
my Lord
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Yeah. Have a
Krishna
party.
Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. I'm
Rama
excited.
Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Rama Rama.
Just a peek, with a pinch of Krishna. That's all I get is a little pinch. Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna
Just
Krishna.
like that nugget.
Seems like he's pouring it on.
Krishna. Krishna. Krishna.
Hare Rama Rama.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama. Rama Rama Rama.
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
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 Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Thanks,
Krishna
Sachi,
Krishna
mute
Hare
your
Hare
mic because there might be an echo here coming.
Well, I did what Tom said to get rid of the echo, but
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
it's me. It's got
It's
to be
okay
me.
with I think Lolita's is okay, but it's yours. I think it's echoing. I don't have time to figure too much out right now.
Rama Rama
Kind
Hare
of
Krishna
busy.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram. I'm doing some funny business right now.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Wondering if there's ever going to be a peak out, this the Hare Krishna mantra is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, wow. I know it could be so good. Yeah. Wow. No words except Hare Krishna, man. Just relish it. Yeah. Ah. A little Vidagda Madhava from Rupa Goswami here. Let's see. We'll start with Act One here. Oh, God. Now, where's it start, man? Yeah. Clever Krishna, Act 1. Act 2, I think. Act 2, if I can find that there. Okay, assistant narrator enters and says, "Oh, Master, having heard the prologue of your new play named Vidagdha Madhava, the actors now ask permission to enter the stage." Narrator, dear student, are the costumes ready? Thinks for a moment. So be it. Although the poetry in my play is not very beautiful, the wise will take delight in it, for it bears the scent of Lord Hari. What wise man will not bow his head and respectfully drink well water that has washed a shalagram shila? Yeah, and that's the, oh yeah, thanks, music here. Yeah. See, because of the advent of Lord Caitanya, he wants to allow us to, because we're like this well water, containers, just ordinary stuff, just human, not very nice humans usually. But if we find the real path, we find his mercy, then we can wash, see, the shalagram, which is the actual Lord in his name, chanting his name and his pastimes like this, with the well water. See, our tears become purified, man, become holy. I think that's amazing. Who wouldn't accept such a gift? I mean, when we really get to know how merciful the Lord is, I mean, I could never imagine it myself. And I have to just gradually experiencing these things to see how merciful God is, to make the most unholy the holy. I mean, look, Ramayan was written by a dacoit and a murderer. Yeah, and simply because he found the path. Where the path was? The path was not a where. Well, it was a where, but it was more of a who. The Mu was a bona fide spiritual master, Narayana, who engaged him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So when he chanted, he experienced that love awakening in his heart, and then he was empowered to write the Ramayana. And he was a murderer and a thief, dacoit. See? So Rupa Goswami considered himself a low-class person, even though he wasn't, but he was considered himself because he was a servant of the Muslim king who killed people. And he was facilitating the murder of people, like that's what you do when you work for a king. He was a minister, intimate minister. And so he considered himself, even though he was born in a Brahmin family, he considered him like polluted by the Muslim thing. Yeah. But because he got the mercy of Lord Caitanya and became qualified to write such wonderful books like this with the deepest conclusions. It's all about the conclusions, man. It's all about the meanings of these poems. These poems mean stuff. The devotee empowered, if he writes them, he's tasting the meaning through the writing, or preaching these poetry, tasting the meanings and communicating the meanings to others for their benefit so they can understand. Otherwise, you just are a parrot. You're just parroting the scriptures. You can be a guru and you're just a parodying the scriptures. You don't understand them. You can't taste the meaning of them. You can't communicate that meaning. The communicating of the meaning is from one who is experiencing the meaning of these scriptures. You can't even initiate anybody into the Hare Krishna mantra. It's so funny. They say it all the time. You get the mantra from a guru. You got to get the mantra from the guru. But it doesn't matter. It's like, oh yeah, he's a bona fide guru. Oh yeah, he's been voted in the big ecclesiastical big organization. Like an ISKCON thing. Oh yeah, they approved. It's like government approval. We know where that is. Oh, they're approved by the government. Oh, really? Oh, that must be, we should go the other way. See, no, it meant to be initiated. The reason to be initiated by a bona fide spiritual master into the Hare Krishna mantra is they transmit that attachment so you can engage in the real worship of that mantra. You have to have that seed of bhakti. So you get the taste. So it starts as a little mustard seed and then grows the more you water it with your chanting. That's the ideal. That's what it's supposed to be in the Krishna consciousness movement. What's so hard? What's the difficulty to understand a simple fact like that? Why don't we see that little mustard seed? Or we don't even see a mustard seed. You see no visible symptoms of love of Krishna, not even any deep attachment, just maybe attachment to doing rules and ceremonies. But that's external. That's not attachment from inside your heart for the name of God, which has been praised by all the scriptures. It says you're saved by the name. But what does that feel like to be saved, man? That's called relationship. You can relate to that name. You feel that name. You feel the happiness of being united with God. You see that God is non-different than that name. Yeah, but only if you have the visible symptoms of love of Godhead can you even know the name or know its glories or communicate that attachment, that seed of bhakti in others. See, people don't know Guru Tattva. That's chapter 1. That's why, can you imagine Prabhupada tells his own disciples, his leaders and everything, oh, by the way, you guys aren't going to be real gurus. As soon as I go, you're going to go jump, and you're looking at my pockets. You want the worship, you want the money, or you want the buildings. So this is all postgraduate. Even chapter 1 on the guru, which you're not, is postgraduate for you. You can't even understand that because you got to understand it by being that. You got to be those verses, man. That means God has got to be authentically awakened in you and in a mature condition, somewhat at least. We have, reasonable, real experience that Krishna and his name is non-different. But only if you have the symptom visible. Hear these words, visible. Because man, if you know that name is God, you're going to have some visibility symptoms. Things you're going to see. You're going to be more joyful than anybody in this world. You're going to cry torrents of tears and laugh like a mad woman or mad man, like Lord Shiva does. You're part of that family of crazies. Amazing crazies. And look at Daksha was a Brahmin, like these respectable teachers and all that. See, this is like the Daksha. Brahmin, up there, mode of goodness guy, nice guy. Yeah, nice guy. But then he got competitive and jealous and envious of somebody better than him. That's why unless you transcend the false ego, that's going to be there. You know why real devotees are not envious of other real devotees? You know why? Why should you be envious of something that you have also? That's the secret. That means you want that, what they have. But, if you also have that, that's the test. Why should you be competitive with those who have that? Why would you, even if I was a guru, if I saw another guru that had ecstatic devotion, I say, hey man, which associate would you like to, which one would you prefer? They're both empowered. The same Lord is in that person. What's it to me? It's just less work for me. Let that guru, deal with the persons, have some children, you like that prayer? Oh yeah, go for it, man. But unfortunately, I haven't found anything like that. I could say, oh yeah, go over there, yeah. Yeah, go to Gadi Maharaj. Yeah, you see, you have the same kind of experiences here. Yeah, go to Radhanath, you have the same experience here. Oh yeah, go to Prem Parojana, or go to the Gaudiya Samiti. I haven't seen anything, I would say, anybody that say, hey, you'll have the same kind of experience here. None of them can prove it, not even one. I know, I've been in there. I was like a spy. I didn't know I was a spy. I wanted to see, where is this great gurus and teachers who are associates of Lord Caitanya that had all this great bhakti, all this Radhe stuff, Nowhere to be seen. Not even one place. Did you see anything like that in Mayapur? Anything impressive? See? Zero. Yeah. I went to Vrindavan looking for something impressive. Actually, I found a guru, but he was, actually he was pretty ecstatic too. In trance a lot. But they're rare. I mean, this guy was rare. He was, you had to go into his thing. He was just doing bhajan all the time. He loved it, man. He was like Haridas Thakur, just in ecstasy, chanting, and you could see natural. Oh, it was beautiful. He came out of his trance and answered some of my questions, and he said, I said, I have this guru, because when I was with Tamal Krishna, I said, this guru, I just don't, He says, asked him some questions. He says, go ask your guru. I said, well, the guru I have is this ISKCON guru, and I don't trust him. I don't believe he's really there. And he smiled. He says, yeah, I understand. And he went back into his trance and chanted. He's the only one I could say really had something, man, Yeah. So that's it, man. This is I don't know how I got into this. I don't know. I was just reading this verse. Read another verse. Oh yeah, washing the well water. Yeah. So anyway, the Lord wants, if you find the real line, see, like here, this is a real line. I guess from my what I see, this is rare. They're really rare. Because you come here, and if you're sincere and you really want this transcendental relationship, you can get it pretty quick here. And everybody else is saying, oh, you got to go lots of austerity, you got to attain Krishna. Here, it's basically you just got to be here and develop faith in what we're doing. I don't know. This is what Lalita did. I mean, she's nothing special. I mean, she can't even fold a towel properly. No, she just somehow had faith. It's actually like that. I think that faith may take you a lifetime to develop it in some other lifetime. I had that with Jesus. I read a few verses in the Bible, and I couldn't believe how much faith. It's like I knew this guy. Oh, we got it ready, Freddy here. It's like I knew this guy. Like I know celery stick over there. Yeah, And the faith, it was like, and boom, kind of like Lolita after a week of watching the videos. Some people have it, and some people maybe it takes, a long time for some people to develop that faith. Some people, you see some that just somehow get it quick, a Fanny, Amy's. Oh, so Govinda took 8 months and, a lot of crying. And this Freddie, even though he's a kind of a quiet guy, he's got something, man, he doesn't reveal stuff. Yeah, I know he's a poker face. He doesn't show his hand. He's not ready to lay his hand down. He wants to see if Goharidas is bluffing or what. See. All right, another verse here. Let's see what happens here. Where are we here? So the assistant narrator says, "O Master, please give us beautiful and elegant speeches. For this audience is so learned it will criticize the demigods, what to speak of us actors. O Master, please give us beautiful and elegant speeches." Okay? So, and that's the Lord who gives that to the devotee. See, Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Have you heard that verse ever, Freddie? Never? No, it's a very great verse. See, to those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding, I give them real knowledge. See, so, yeah. So, O Master, the devotee gets that because of their intimate relationship with the Master. Okay? And then they give it to their friends and disciples. That's how you get it. That's why Jesus said only the Father knows the Son knows the Father, and the Son can reveal the true nature of the Father to whom he chooses. See? And that chosen one thing is, if you're chosen, you either you like the devotee or you hate them usually, or you're indifferent. One of the three things. Usually it's you hate them or love them. You love what they say. Or you're curious, Yeah, for this audience is so learned, it will criticize the demigods. See, demigods are not conclusive, man. They ain't good enough. Swarab Damodar he didn't like the speculation of even the demigods or even Brahmins. If you don't have devotional experience, that's a learned audience, man. See? They don't, it's the demigods have speculation, because if they didn't, they would be transcendental personalities. And some are. I mean, in our universe, at least, was that Yamaraj is a realized soul. He's one of what they call the 12 Mahajans. We're making more Mahajans as we speak here. There was only 12 before, but since Lord Caitanya has come, many more we create them. Mahajan is somebody who knows everything as they are, because they've been given Bhagavad Gita 10:10 understanding. See, isn't that amazing? You become, when you get this kind of mercy, you become like that also. That's why in my own experience, I say you become a Bhagavad Gita 10:10. You start to worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, and you get so many revelations and realizations. Is that true, Lalita, or am I exaggerating?
You don't dare to exaggerate, Guru.
I know, because I have a learned audience here, man. I got to be careful.
Yeah, you are completely
right.
right.
He's analyzing everything to see if I'm properly presenting Prabhupada's conclusions.
Never exaggerate.
Yeah, so isn't that beautiful? I love these. I just love these meetings here. You become, I tell you, man, this is amazing. You become able to understand Rupa Goswami's poetry. Now, that is unbelievable. This is not common. You know why? Because you become like them. The Lord is giving us the ability. You know how austere Rupa Goswami was and Sanatana Goswami? You wouldn't believe it. Or Haridas. 22 hours a day they were engaged. I mean, they just did it naturally. I mean, they just loved it, man. They were just paying obeisances to 2,000 Vaishnavas and all kinds of stuff, day and night, and slept 2 hours. I don't know how I couldn't do it. But I can't believe that. It's like they transferred the results of their austerities over to the devotees here in our Sangha. Many of them are getting the ability to chant like they do, where you think, I mean, Lalita, do you feel like you'd like more than 20 or 30 ears to hear the holy name when you chant, or 30 or 40 mouths?
Oh, yeah. You mean that I hear things explained like out of 20 mouths? No,
we got a language problem here.
Yeah. Oh, it's so rare, Guru Maharaj, so rare.
Yeah, but that too. Yeah. No, it's just the name is so attractive, and because the Lord is just, if you just come in this line here with your heart and soul, you get all the shelter. It's like the Lord gives you become one of these wealthy heirs. This was what Jesus was talking about, man. This is what Lord Caitanya was talking about. You go from the lowest person into a wealthy heir. I mean, it's unbelievable. And and then people, like, if they hear from you long enough, they'll give you respect because they see if your heart, usually only the purified hearts come here, or if they're not willing to go through the purification, they leave or something, go somewhere else to hide out for a while. But you get respect here automatically. And I think that's amazing how the Lord, just because I worship Lord Caitanya, and have some kind of attachment, the people give me respect here. All I do is I just like to share what I love. It's just, it's fantastic. I love it. It's just, it's like a nature or something, a new nature, it's like, yeah, let me share about my intimate friend. These things that he shows me, let me share with my friends, show and tell, like a little child, in kindergarten, they go to school and they have show and tell, you go and you show something that you like, and then you tell about it. It's kind of like that. That must have came from Vrindavan, that idea. Wonder why. Yeah. See, the learned, they will criticize the audience, so learned they'll criticize the demigods. See, isn't that amazing? They criticize speculation. That's why people can't understand this preaching here. I must criticize the demigods, not criticize per se, discern. Hey, man, that's different. Speculation is different than ascertaining by relish, by transcendental relish, by getting Bhakti Lata Bij. I have to do this. Otherwise, there's no Bhagavatam. There's no real Bhagavatam. There's just a bunch of showy, flashy words and memorization and juggling things. And people think, wow, this person knows so much. What did you get from that person? Nothing, but it doesn't matter. It just tantalizes my mind. And I imagine so many things like the speaker. Okay? But preaching the Bhagavatam, you're not going to be Mr. Popular or Miss Popular, because most people are attached to speculations and some level of illusions. Otherwise, they'd be pure devotees and realized souls, right? So most aren't. But how are you going to preach the Bhagavatam unless you really preach it and make it? But hey, man, it's worth to bring 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. What do we got? 20 people here listening back into the kingdom of God, then nada, nobody, even though you have all these fools listening to you. See, but if you're actually got Radha and Krishna living inside you, Freddie, then you're going to be, then fools are going to deride you because they're going to see that Krishna. They'll see him and don't see him, but they'll react. They'll start deriding you and criticizing you like they do Lalita all the time, man. But what are you going to do? Stop preaching the Bhagavatam? No. Yeah. Those are your battle wounds. And they don't even make, you become like in these TV programs, they have the Marvel people. Some of them have these, their wounds heal really fast. You become like that. They shoot one of these serpent weapons, one of these slicky, some slippery speculations at you, and it tries to hit you in the heart, and it hits the skin and maybe makes a little thing, and then it just heals right up fast. Yeah, that's it. Krishna makes you a Marvel superhero. People will be marveling. Why can't we take that person down? Why does Gohari keep preaching every day? Why does Lalita not go down with our separate weapons? Try to make her doubt herself, doubt her guru.
Protection.
Yeah, she's a fast healer. They don't penetrate the skin, the thick skin. See, the spiritual body has a very thick skin. You can't even see it. It's a magical, mystical skin. It's very thick, but you can't. It's so subtle you can't even see it. It's amazing, isn't it? Okay. Dear student, why talk in this frivolous way? After all, ignoring their own welfare, the people in this audience are concerned only for the well-being of others. Isn't that true? Ignoring their own welfare. See, usually to get ahead in this world, you got to kiss a lot of butt. You got to really please a lot of people. But to preach the truth, you got to ignore your own welfare in that sense. Otherwise, you can't do it. You'll be, it's just like the government tries to get you dependent on them. So then they can control you. You don't think that's happening in religion? You don't think how many gurus may start thinking like, God, there's something wrong here. I think I need to say something. And the rest of their GBC will come and say, hey, man, you better comply. Otherwise, you ain't going to have a job anymore. And we've been giving you bags of money from those collections from the brahmacharis. We gave you a nice little Enfield to drive around India. That's going to stop. Then what are you going to do? See, that's called religion. See? So the devotees, they ignore their own welfare like this. I mean, preaching like this, I'm amazed, how come I don't lose so many people here? Why are 18, 20 people still coming? And I say, sometimes I get mad, I yell, I scream, criticize pure devotees. Laugh at them.
We want to hear that.
Make fun of them. And we still got 18, 20 people here. That's pretty good. I think that's a miracle, actually. I bet they couldn't do anything like this. See, that's the difference. The example shown here is to be propped up by the truth and ecstatic worship and conclusive understanding. See, that's what Krishna wants to show the world. That is enough. See? Like Arjuna, all he had was Krishna and a small army. And Krishna said, are you sure you want to take that? I'm going to give Duryodhana my big army. He had a huge army, and they're very powerful. And Duryodhana was thinking, yeah, let's take the big army. See? And Arjuna said, nah, I'm going to take you. Win or lose, doesn't matter. I'm going to still take you. I like our relationship. I want you on the chariot with me. See, what does that symbolize? What's that significant of? See? Arjuna and Krishna, conscious, right? They're together on the chariot. See, that's wholeness, man. That's his holiness. You need somebody like that. You know, they're in the same chariot, right? Same body. What do you think the chariot represents? A chariot? A mundane, yeah, well, that's what it says, chariot, yeah, that's external body. No, chariot is your body, man. You got Krishna there. Are you conscious of you working together? You know, are you serving the Lord's mission? Are you an instrument of the Lord's mission? Are you ready to take some bullets or some arrows for Krishna like Arjuna did? He went right in front, took all the arrows, and didn't feel anything, because Krishna was at his back and front. Ignoring their own welfare, yeah. They got Krishna. It's kind of like it's a joke. People that don't have that relationship would think you're ignoring your own welfare, but you're not at all. Arjuna was not ignoring his welfare by just taking Krishna. No, he realized that was the greatest welfare for himself even. And that's here, the same thing too. That's why the Lord starts, with Prabhupada, started from scratch, 40 rupees in America. Bhaktisiddhanta also started, just rented a house and just was empowered. Yeah, same here. I was a homeless guy. Sachi knows, just homeless guy wandering around. Yeah. Then I got the Order of Prabhupada in 1996. And boom. Yeah, ignoring my own welfare, but it wasn't ignoring. I just realized, let me just preach. And everything will work out. Just let me follow that Order of Prabhupada. Matter of fact, immediately. I don't know if you were there, well, no, you weren't quite there, but I was in Sweden. And the Prabhupada came in a dream, lucid dream, and Krishna came to my second disciple. And then I just felt I have to go to America to preach. I just knew it, and I wanted to take my Premaniti with me. I thought, okay, yeah. So we went down to the consulate, and they laughed at me, and I said, "You don't have a pot to piss in, man." You ain't. Hey, somebody. Echo.
Can I say something?
Not yet. Why don't you let me do my story?
Well, you brought my name up, and I want to say something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the middle of. Yeah. Go ahead, since you did it anyway.
I'll add to this story. When you were in Sweden, your second disciple got darshan of Krishna, and she gave you such a nice, you and your wife, a wedding present donation that helped you guys to really further on in the preaching. And then I met you once you got to America, you and her, the wife.
Yeah, $10,000. That was like amazing. I was out of the blue, because that's the exact number the guy at the thing, he said, unless you post $10,000, show us that you have $10,000, you can't take her to America. You can't get a green card for her. And the lady just, here's a wedding present for you guys. Boom, like this. Just, you know. Yeah, but that's how it just worked out. I just, you know, just preaching and starting with, you don't, it's, if you, what I learned, if you have the truth and you have this ecstasy, what don't you have? You have God, you have such a close relationship with the Lord that because everything works out for him, everything you get, what it says in the scriptures happens for you. The Lord protects his devotees. He really does. Yeah. And so that's because of that close relationship. That's what the meaning of the Battle of Kurukshetra was. The devotees were protected. The Pandavas, most of them anyway. What was it? The son. What was it? The son. Who got? Some were killed. The sons. Anyway, somewhere. Yeah.
Was it Queen? It wasn't Queen Kunti, was it?
No. She was saved. Oh, you got to mute your mic there, Sachi. It's really big echo. Big. You know, and the way they do that is if you put headphones on, then it will stop. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, ignoring their own welfare, the people in this audience are concerned only for the well-being of others. And that's not exactly, that's external because they don't ignore their own welfare. They realize the highest welfare and they want to give that to others. It's so wonderful. And that's what we're seeing here, the fruits of that manifesting. That's Guru Sadhu Shastra. That's what makes this roll. That's what delivers people. If people come into this association, they will become protected also. And you notice we get reports all the time, people experiencing that. You know, I remember even householders, some that can't come so much, or they feel Krishna's around them, simply because they have faith in this path, faith in this preaching. Although wealthy, well-educated, and born in exalted families, they are very humble. Although wealthy, well-educated, and born in exalted families, they are very humble. Okay? That's another, he uses an external example that actually represents an internal thing. See, born in a wealthy family really means, you know, a wealthy family, you're born again into this kind of family. This is, you know, when you see a real devotee in this world, you're seeing the most wealthy person in this world. They're more wealthy than these elites. They don't have a conscious relationship with the transcendental Lord beyond all this material creation and beyond even that liberated, blinding light of oneness. See, but a real devotee does. They have the Lord. They have the golden goose where all that stuff comes from that people are chasing after. See? And they're very humble in the sense they don't have material pride in that. It's irrelevant. See, the material pride is another thing to prop up people that are fools. See? Arrogant fools. See, they have material pride. That's the demons. This is a Klaus Schwab. They're very proud, you know, it's material. They're actually fools, idiots. Going around, you know, people have different badges. You know, if you went to the World Economic Forum, people have different badges. This is what somebody went there and said, yeah, if you're classified by how important you are. They give you a badge to show that, oh, you're just a reporter. Oh, okay, you're a reporter. And they look at you, oh, you're a reporter. Oh, you're this person. Oh, you're more important. Ooh. It's kind of like what they do in religion, in ISKCON. Oh, you were initiated by Prabhupada. Wow. You, so exalted. Yeah. What's the quality of your exaltedness? Oh, you were initiated by Prabhupada. Well, what is the symptom of that, of being exalted and all that? Initiation from Prabhupada.
Initiation from Guru Maharaj, from Srila Gaura Haridas is more important. I'm so sorry, because you initiate us with waking up the Lord in our soul, with the ecstasy. You initiate us with giving us Radha, love of God. That's really initiation. Giving us the Maha Mantra, chanting in ecstasy.
Yeah, you get the internal thing. See, not the external, like, oh, you're in it. But so see, devotees, when you get this potency, you think in symptoms. Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti, they always thought in symptoms, not in external formalities. What are the symptoms of you being a wealthy person? Oh, I got a lot of money. Didn't you see? I inherited from Prabhupada. Oh, you inherit that. Yeah, go hard. You're just a poor guy. You got nothing. Look at us. We got buildings. I got a big following. Well, that's what I inherited from Prabhupada. Yeah. Well, what I inherited from Prabhupada actually was real knowledge, that helped me. Actually, I had this before. This was awakened spontaneity before, but it was accelerated and accentuated by this parampara because it got me clear what it is. Definitely necessary. So what I inherited from Prabhupada is different what these gurus inherited. But we're both gurus, right? They're gurus and I'm guru. But what's the difference is our inheritance. What did you inherit from Prabhupada? Oh, initiation. Oh, these followers. Oh, these buildings. Oh, this reputation of being a spiritual master. What did you get, Gohari, from Prabhupada? Because we got that, but what do you got? Well, I got real knowledge, man, that I could, look at the books and ecstatic devotion awakens, and I understand the meanings of Rupa Goswami's poetry. To me, that is the real wealth, isn't it? I mean, honestly, is it better to have buildings and followers as your wealth, or is it the understanding of Rupa Goswami's poetry? Am I not explaining these things? Do you think anybody else could explain these things? Do you think Narayan Raj could? I never heard explanations like this. See, that's what I inherited from Prabhupada and Jesus. Okay? And Lord Caitanya. See, this is a kind of inheritance. Go ahead, Lalita.
Because you were a dearmost devotee already. So if they are not dearmost devotee, somebody needs to transform them into a dearmost devotee so that they can have the inherit of Prabhupada as well.
Yeah, well, that's the line. See, this is if they don't get this teaching, they don't get this inheritance. Then they just get the buildings and they get the followers, but no transformation. Because with this inheritance, the wealth is love. Like it says in the verse, chapter 3 or 4 of Adi Lila, Chaitanya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Those who have the real mercy of Lord Caitanya, they can understand and describe the pastimes of Krishna in the vision of the revealed scriptures. See, there's a vision there. It's exact. And it's the Acharyas know that. It's codes. So unless you have that mercy which comes in the real line, you cannot present the pastimes of Krishna in the vision of the revealed scriptures or the truths. Even Guru Tattva, they don't You know, you got to be an example of Guru Tattva to actually teach it. Yeah, how can they say unless you actually have Prema Bhakti, how can you teach chapter 1 of Adi Leela? It would just be a speculative show, like just a flashy show. I'll play piano while I talk to you about Guru Tattvas, you know, and you'll be looking not at the Guru Tattva, you'll be looking, ooh, he's a great piano, must be a pure devotee. Ooh, PhD, must be a pure devotee, right? Went to a school, got it. Ooh. What is chapter 12 written by that person? What does chapter 12th canto say? In religion and in politics, there will people be in there that are not really qualified with the real qualification and qualities in Kali Yuga. They won't have the internal, they won't be good kings or good politicians. They'll be, because it's Kali Yuga. And the same thing with gurus. That's why you got to find that rare one. See? So the real wealth is love of Krishna, man. It gives you the right understanding. It gives you everything. And isn't that beautiful? People come here if that's really what you want, your heart wants. The Lord starts making arrangements for you to have that. Now, that ain't a bad deal. And if that's not your wealth, if it's some kind of name and fame and everything, well, you have to go here because I will dry up that stuff. That dry up. Where's Gore? He's not acknowledging me. You know, that kind of thing. You won't. Oh, we can't. Oh, you want that weed field? Fed the weed? Well, go out there. They'll feed the weed, but they have material motive for feeding your weeds. Yeah, they want to jerk you around, manipulate you. They'll tell you what you want to hear, but have something, you know, they'll show you one hand, but you won't see what the other one's doing, you know, putting a knife in your back. Yeah. You come here, we'll dry up the weeds and give you the bhakti. Hare Krishna. Give us a word there, Freddie. What do you think? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just here every day to get my Mahaprasadam, and I want to share this with Kamalakanta.
You have a word for Kamalakanta because he watches my videos. He wants to see what I'm talking when I'm talking about him. So say a few words so he'll listen attentively.
Well, it's really amazing. These quotes from Kamalakanta, they are actually funny when you read them. You know, it's all about this Mahaprasadam and cooking in the kitchen and beach parties and the guru in the t-shirt. So yeah, it's he's I think is he older than you? I guess so.
Yeah. He's 70 something.
Yeah. So and he's really into that mode of where when Prabhupada was here, he learned his disciples to cook very nicely, and this Maha, and also when all these Prabhupada disciples came to the temples, everybody was running around to serve them, to iron their clothes, and they could all tell these nice stories about Prabhupada and what in the beginning in the Bowery Street. And it was nice to hear all these stories when I was in the temple. So, and when they had their plate of prasadam, then the remnant of those Prabhupada disciples was distributed among the devotees. That was Maha, because that was coming from a Prabhupada disciple. So it was the exclusive Maha prasadam. But well, those guys, they they are sincere in a sense, although they don't have this prema bhakti. They were very committed to Prabhupada. They helped mission. They did a lot of translation. They built the temples. They distribute the books. So there is quite a commitment to do that. If they weren't there, then we didn't have the temples. We didn't have the books. We didn't have anything. I didn't know then who was Krishna. When I encountered on the age of 27, I encountered devotees on a parking lot, and they were distributing books, and that was my first encounter with Krishna consciousness. So, and then even 3 years later, I ended my youth camp with a youth society, and then I visited the temple Radhadesh. So, and then with the leaders and the kitchen crew, we were there, and I was the only one from the whole crew who bought a book in the temple, and that was the Bhagavad Gita. And then actually my spiritual life started in study Prabhupada's books, but not under the guidance of a spiritual master. So I always listened to these ISKCON sannyasi gurus, how they explained the verses. So you get a certain understanding, but you never get the esoteric meanings of Shastra like you explain on a daily basis. So and then for me it was a quiet revelation at that moment, at that period in time. So all this knowledge in these books, 18,000 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and if you start to study them and you see this divine structure and how the universe was created by a primary creation and a secondary creation, and it's all elaborately explained. For me, that was really amazing for me. So, and I'm a kind of a person, I like to understand things. How is it? What is this spiritual world? What is this material world? How did we end up here in this world? How did I became I conditioned? How can I get out? The most important question. So so getting out, that was okay. You read this process of Vaidhi Bhakti, and you start chanting, you start reading, you start following the principles. So that was my structure. That was my holding on to something that was higher than just the material level, not just having only a job and a family and and then you hope to become happy, maybe you get a divorce or whatever. So there is always misery in this material world, and this is all explained in these wonderful books like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that this place is actually a place of suffering. There is also enjoyment, but it's just on the sensory level. And beyond the sensory level is your soul level, this Sat, Chit, and Ananda. But to get access to your Sat, Chit, Ananda, you need to be in contact with a living Bhagavata. For the majority of devotees, the books are not sufficient. You need to hear the transcendental vibration from a rasic devotee like you, and now like Lalita and Johan and Govinda and others who are awakening here. When they speak, then something magical happens. It's very mystical what happens, and I can feel this every day when you come here in this live stream, and I am looking at you and I'm listening at you. There is something happening beyond the material senses, and you can only feel it if you participate. That's what you have to do: participate, go through the purification, and then you feel gradually a deeper and deeper connection with your Lord. He is revealing himself more and more to you. Come, just listen more to Harikatha. Yes, go on, keep on going. And
well, it doesn't look like you're bored.
and that's the life and soul for devotees. We like to hear about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, the gopis and the cowherd boys. So that is real life. That is our real existence in God. Now we have just a temporary existence, and when this body is finished, well, it's all finished. Of course, the soul will continue at whatever level you are. You reach a certain consciousness at the end of your life, and that will determine whether you have to take another material body or not. And yeah, we are now prepared to enter, the Bauma Lila in our next life, and to have the association of those very exalted devotees, Chaitanya devotees, and that is the highest what you can get from the Lord. We are entering Goloka Vrindavan, the highest spiritual planet, where you have eternal life in full carpentive rasa, and that's always ever increasing, yeah, and yeah, it's unimaginable what's awaiting us. It's the most precious gift, you can get from God, that you have such an intimate relationship on this Vrindavan level. It's so full of love, full of ecstasy, full of knowledge. Everything is there. All these other realizations of Paramatma and Brahman realizations, it's all included in Bhagavan realization. So people who have faith in what we are doing, they get the highest. It's beyond imagination. It's beyond imagination. Feelings are so deep. Feelings are ever growing. And that's how the Lord is. He is unlimited in every aspect, in knowledge, in bliss, in light, in love. Yeah, you just have to embrace it, and then it will happen. It will just happen like that. It's magic.
Great explanation, Freddie. That was really great. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we got here. Yeah, Janaki was impressed. Good advice, Freddie. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we have a good time here. Yeah. I got it really early this morning. I think I'm going to take a couple Z's here. All right, so why don't we take a break for a while? I'm already looking forward to some more ecstatic chanting a little bit later. I think I'll try not to eat so much, and then I have one more chanting session this afternoon. When you guys are sleeping, I'll work with the day crew here. The Sachi and Janaki and Amy. Where is that Amy, man? Is she around?
She's not around, I think.
Yeah.
She's probably not far away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we'll end it here. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. And we'll be back.